here we go. This is what I wanted to get up for this right here. I'm gonna quickly switch over the thing to actually.
Until he saw the shirt, he thought that the joke was just me. He thought I was original. He thought I had a single original joke in my head.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna switch the just chatting to actually breaking a bunch of characters, and then I'm going to switch the game to Final Fantasy XIV because we are talking about Final Fantasy.
All right, I can launch Final Fantasy XIV and chill in it just in case someone calls us out for not having gameplay footage.
We're talking about the game. I think the title says it all. If somebody joins and is wondering why we're not actually playing it,
that's true.
Then it's like, well, we're technically doing something.
Oh, it's our Discord call. There it goes.
What's that?
I said it's our Discord call. Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna have to. Oh God, the characters are so small. Everything's so small.
Do you want me to? I can up the size of these characters if you want me to.
No, it's all good. I can. I just have to full screen everything, like some sort of chunks. But yeah. So why don't we get started?
Hold on, I have to update the thing. Okay, stream should now actually be updated to 14. I wanted to make sure there wasn't like two versions of 14 on here.
Yeah.
Because you have the 1.0 version, which could be talked about as a separate, but no, it's okay. Yeah, that's good for what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be interesting. This will be different and new. I'm gonna give it a few minutes before we hop right into it. But we're gonna make this a little interesting for people who are sticking around and don't know anything about 14. I'm also gonna adjust the screen a little bit too to make this a little better. What?
I said do it, nerd.
Damn. I want to up the size just a little bit, make this a little easier for people to see and read. Which is good. Okay, yeah, we're gonna make this a little more interesting. I'm gonna have you give a basic description of just how you would describe a character to nobody who knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a little more interesting in doing it that
absolutely.
way. Absolutely. This is this particular character who did this specific thing and is known for this event, and especially this in the lore.
I'll give pitches for each character, yeah?
Yeah, this is good. This will be better than trying to actually help actually understand what this character is in the games we're trying to do.
Absolutely. This feels like a great idea.
This is a 14 thing, so we will see. We will see how well this goes. We'll see how.
It'll be terrible.
I'm going to move the chat up here above your head as well, so we have
because we got room
proper view. Yeah. Wow. There we go. It's the first time we're doing a tier video on here as well, so that'll be interesting to see how this goes.
We're finally hopping onto that trend.
Better than when you did your tier video of Warframe and people hated it. That this will be the tier list that generates the least personal hate in Kiki's career to date.
Oh yeah, I got a lot. I did a Warframe video and I got a lot of negativity from it because I had opinions and I dared to.
Cyclops, did you ever take a moment to look at that video? Because I don't know much about Warframe. Kiki did that video, I edited it, and people were not happy with Kiki's opinions. People are not going to be happy about because this is going on YouTube. So hi YouTube. We're going to be ranking Warframe videos, or not. We're going to be ranking
Warframe videos. Okay, no, switch over to the real one. This is a bait and switch. We're actually going to be watching Warframe videos and ranking them.
Oh, this is horrible.
Let's start with Saren's character pitch. Let's do it.
I hate this. We're not doing this.
Can't even joke along.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay. So, Final Fantasy XIV ranking going on YouTube, probably going to generate hate regardless of what we do. Because we're going to have one character that people are going to love and adore, and they're not going to understand why they're at, D tier, or C tier, or even B tier, and they're not in S tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is complaining, but as someone that has theoretically played since 2014, I liked it. Oh, yeah, okay. Wow.
Is it Loki and Limbo fans that are complaining? Cyclops? Is that what's going on? But yeah, like I definitely could have done the video better. I could have gone into more detail, actually like written notes ahead of time for myself instead of just going in blind. That would have probably been the biggest help. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this. Are we ready to get into it?
Yeah, I actually suppose we are actually ready to get into this, aren't we?
All right, so who are we doing first?
I wanted to just give it a few minutes to like let things like, you know, buffer into it. But yeah, okay. So how we're gonna do this is gonna be based on personal opinion, our thoughts of the individual, our own experiences with the individual, and how we feel they relate to the quest. There isn't something that is like overall decisive to like this person influenced the main story quest in this certain way, or this person did this, so therefore they deserve this. This is literally just personal opinions, personal thoughts, and ideas of the character.
Yeah. It's how we feel about the character, how they make us feel, and whether or not we feel that they were like fun or well written as well. Like if we think a character was just poorly presented, then they're not probably going to be treated all that well, even if they're like a bad person.
Yeah. So it's good to go over the basics, the ideas. Yeah. Again, this will be personal opinion. So anybody joining us now, just letting you know, nothing personal with this.
Nothing personnel, kids. Nothing personnel.
We're gonna go right across the list.
Yes,
we're just
exactly.
Gonna go
this isn't how important they are. This is how much we like them, because how important they are is very objective.
I love how we have to disclaimer that because.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Okay, with that, I think we're ready to start. And the first one up there is Biggs. Or is that Wedge?
All right. So, Biggs. Biggs is a gigantic, like, he's a big old himbo that works with machinery, and you first find him after he's crashed an airship and he's being attacked by, like, knockoff Romans. He doesn't show up all that much, and he's kind of a filler character. He's mostly a Star Wars joke, but he's all right. How is that for a character description?
That's a pretty good one. I'm just gonna quickly adjust this so we can like see everything here.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide the special like little labels here, just so we can see them for now. Okay, there we go. I think that's I think that is actually need to move this over a little bit now before we properly start on this, so I can do this. Yeah, Biggs. First one there. So you encounter him pretty early on, actually. You encounter him like
right after you joined your Grand Company.
Yeah, your Grand Company. So you joined him after the Grand Company, and there's the airship that crashes there, and then
you get to help him out, and he occasionally shows up again whenever like the technomantic stuff is important. But he's very much a background character. You really only get to know him like once or twice.
Yeah,
like, you don't really get to see much of his personality.
Like once or twice. So there isn't really anything that really sticks out with him. So I can't put him in S tier. But he's also not a really terrible character, so I don't really think he deserves
B or C. I'm feeling B or C personally, because he's serviceable. He's a serviceable boy.
He's a serviceable character, so I'm gonna have to say probably middle of the thing. I'm gonna give him a B because he ain't a bad dude. He ain't bad.
He's not terrible.
He's engineer that has name. So
yeah, he's engineer who has name and also is Star Wars reference.
Yeah, that's true. But now we get on to another interesting one, and that is La Habrea.
La Habrea. Okay, so La Habrea, or the Bread as he's sometimes called, is the principal antagonist of the first large segment of the game. He's this background Realm Reborn, or 2.0 to some of you. He's a schemer. He does a lot of weird little plot shit. He shows up a bunch of times and he basically just refuses to die. However, he does laugh like a dumbass at the end of one of the big dungeons that you run. He's very generic, very forgettable, but he's given context by other characters. I think he's passable, B or C tier.
So here's what I would say personally.
Yeah.
Personally, he never really struck out with me. Like at the beginning, he was very much a kind of C-rated villain in my opinion.
He's very much a generic antagonist.
Yeah,
yes.
But when you start learning more into the game and then you kind of realize more about him, I'm gonna have to move him up. I have to also put him at B in my opinion.
I will say this about La Habrea. Remember, his development is mostly backfill, and it's mostly through two of the other characters that are also on this list. So why don't we put? So I think they deserve the credit for it rather than him. You know what I mean?
You have a good point there. But
I think he's okay.
But to put it simply, he watched so the other two characters could run.
Okay, let's give him a B minus.
Okay, so he's B minus.
Let's very explicitly say he's B minus.
Okay, B minus. La Brea. That's even probably being generous, but
yeah, they are all voiced in game, and some of them have multiple voice actors because between expansions sometimes they couldn't retain their VAs.
Yeah, so there's all
they are all voiced to a varying degree.
Yeah, well, except Choco. Choco isn't, but we'll
get into him. We'll come to him.
Yeah, I think all the other ones are though.
Every single other character I've been looking around has actually. Well, there's one of them. Like I can see one or two that aren't voiced, and we'll get to them eventually. But they do also have a crap ton of character.
Yeah.
Without voice actors.
Yeah. So then we have
Gosetsu.
Yeah, this guy right
here. Gosetsu is a very good boy. He's a massive samurai who has one of the funniest introductions any character in this game has. He's a very noble lad who constantly forgets to eat and does not take care of himself. He's very devoted, very wholesome, and literally holds up a falling castle so you can escape. I love him.
Holds up. You know, without context, that sounds like really bad, right?
Holds up a castle?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole castle crumbling around you, and he literally holds up the roof.
He holds up a floor to the castle, not the whole castle.
And that's still impressive, and it's cool, and I love him.
So what do you think? It sounds like you're trying to push A tier.
I think he deserves into A tier.
I'm like, yeah, he's got some interesting stuff. But
to me, he stands out. He's memorable, and I look at him fondly. I would put him in A tier. Because he's definitely a higher tier than the other two, and putting him at the same level as them feels like a sin.
I don't know. I'm thinking B plus personally, but if you're thinking A, particularly because he doesn't have as much screen time as all the other characters. Like his development isn't like.
We're not, but remember, we're not talking about like how important.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like personal opinion in that regard, though. So it's like, you know, for sake of you, we'll stick it in A tier. And if anybody in the comments agrees, please let me know below about how wrong Kiki is of her opinion, or how wrong I am for wanting to put this in B plus. That's always an idea as well.
Well, I would say A minus then. So he's still in A tier.
A minus. Okay.
He's still in A tier.
Okay. And the next one, do you recognize this guy? Because this one's actually a
that's really
character.
Small. That's really small, but I'm pretty sure that's Harshifon's brother.
Yeah, I think so as well, isn't it?
It's Harshifon's brother, Emelmain, I think.
The elven names are so like, oh
yeah.
Okay, explain. You want to go ahead and explain this person?
All right. So if this is the person I think it is, he's basically a ponce of a nobleman who is very much a womanizer and lives in the shadow of his elder brother, who's one of the best characters in the game. And he does get some interesting development over time. He does become a better character that's more interesting. Eventually, he stops being a kid and kind of grows up, and it's understated, but still an important journey for him to take. I give him a B.
Honestly, he's like, I'm leaning C with this one because he's kind of forgettable in my opinion. I think
if we put him in C, Biggs and Wedge deserve to go in C, honestly.
Okay, B minus then.
All right.
I definitely like La Brea more than I like Elf Boy here.
Really?
So
okay. I have a bit of a soft spot for like character growth and like redemption arcs, I guess, and I like how he improves over time. Is the TLDR?
And yeah, you got a fair point. I'm gonna stick him B minus though. I still think
that's
like
fair. That's fair.
In terms of the admirability, I like La Brea a little more than I like.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And now, the next one here is
Asahi.
Yes, who particularly has a very punchable face.
All right, so Asahi is he is obsessed with the last character on this list. He's a ponce, he's a soulless little shit, and he's manipulative. He's, I would say, arguably the most evil character on this page.
For people who don't know, he's obsessed with this guy, which we'll like.
He's obsessed with Goldilocks.
Yes.
But
there's interesting development that happens way later on, but
that's the
very punchable, very evil.
He is legitimately, I think he is the single most evil character on this list. Everyone else has like caveats for their villainy or like weirdness that kind of gives it context, or you can or it's like smaller scale, but he is a power-hungry monster who knows how people work and uses that against them. Like, he's manipulative, he's awful, and I think he's very well written, but I hate him.
So what would you rank him?
So that's the thing. If I rank him as far as if I say how well do I think they did? I think they did an amazing job making my least favorite character in the game. But then again, he's also
so least favorite, which means D.
No, but like so if this is a scale on how well they did with the character, he's S tier. But if it's a scale on whether or not I would dropkick this man into next Tuesday, he's like D tier.
This is personal opinion.
Okay.
I see what you're saying, because like if his deliberate take was to be wanting you to punch him in the face, then he'd be S tier. But because he is also like,
he's also just
I want to punch him in the face, I want to put him at D tier. So I guess I kind of have to go to the middle ground and go like B.
That's what I mean. That's the thing.
But you know what? We'll go C.
Average it out. Okay.
We'll go C, because that's like average like.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll average our opinions.
Yeah, that's like the best we can come up with when it comes to this.
And
all right.
Next is the golden god, the adorable lad, isn't it?
Yes. I'm not gonna put him S tier.
No, we're not putting him in S tier, not immediately. All right,
I would say, like, I'm gonna let you explain this.
So Gaius Van Belsar was the initial antagonist. Was the like initial antagonist of A Realm Reborn. Like he was the bad guy of 1.0, the game's first launch, and he's the villain who's basically this. He's very Julius Caesar like. But at the same time, his motivations are interesting and they make sense, even if he's kind of flawed in his executions. Long story short, you kill him after his plans fail, and the guy we talked about before, La Habrea, blows up a massive imperial like what's the word? Not base, not facility. Fortress. Fortress is the word I'm looking for. He does show up again later. He has a really interesting redemption arc, and he's involved in but this is not that Gaius. This is the Gaius from the base game. This is his original development and his original character arc. And I think they did a pretty good job with him, like to the point where I kind of wanted to side with him when I first ran Praetorium. What do you think? I do legitimately think that at the time I would have gone with him over the three major cities. Because they treat you like crap, and he doesn't.
He rules like he's like a general from the Empire who wants to take over Eorzea, the realm in which the game A Realm Reborn takes place.
He talks shit about your gods, but he makes a lot of very good points.
He seems like he wants the best and wants to kind of unite everything, but you learn more that a lot of that is corrupt ideology. But
you learn later on that he's a good boy. He's got interesting ideas, but he serves people that aren't super worthy of his loyalty, is the TLDR.
He's pretty awesome in my opinion. Like, you run the Praetorium, you're kind of excited to meet him. Yeah. He's fun. He's I'd
give him at least an A, I think. Like
I'm giving him an A+. I think he's deserving of an A+.
I agree. I think he's at least A+ feels good to me. Now
we have to move on to Choco. Choco is goddamn adorable, but
Choco's okay. So this is a character that is adorable to the point that it makes me suspicious. Like, it kind of takes me out of it. Like, you know when you see like a cat girl character or something that just like makes them pause their hands and goes nya all the time? It's like, I get that you're supposed to be cute, but you make me think of the guy that designed you, not you yourself being cute. Like, do you know what I mean?
Kind of, but it's also Choco. It's like,
okay, so
adorable little like Chocobo.
So here's how the Chocobo works. You meet them outside of Omega's domain. It's basically you go into fan service hell led by this character, and you fight a bunch of bosses from old Final Fantasies with almost no context. The raid series gets good at the very end, but I would give Choco a C because he's a herald of unpleasantness. Because without Choco, we would not have dealt with the Omega stuff.
True, but I mean, it's Choco though. Fine, C+, I'm saying.
Okay.
You can't. They're adorable.
Yes, but at the same time, it's like it's Choco is the face of
drug, not a Final Fantasy character. Oh. Okay, now everyone who's on the edge of their seat watching, this one's going in S tier, just straight up. I know everyone's watching. Everyone's like, if you dare put him in D tier, if you so much as even think about not putting him in S tier. I know people out there are gonna be like that. Don't worry.
So
don't
our
worry.
next character, I'll give him a summary, okay?
Yeah, please do.
Emmett Selk is the fabulous man who steals the scene in the entirety of the most recent expansion. Every time he shows up, he carries it. His voice acting, his animations, his aesthetic. He's an asshole. He's incredible. I love him with all my heart. He's one of the best written antagonists in almost anything I've ever played. He's beautiful and brilliant and tragic and has one of the best final lines I've ever seen. He's
he
incredible.
tugs at me still.
Yeah, same. Like, I'm getting a little bit of chills thinking about him.
Oh yeah. We're gonna keep this spoiler free. For anybody that's like maybe in here and they're like, needless to say, at the end of the expansion, like main quest, amazing things come together in this character.
Yeah, it's beautiful and it's incredible. And without this character and the next one, it would not have hit nearly as hard as it did. Because I think, all right, shall we move on to the next one? Because I've got some stuff to say about her. Go what?
I forgot to do this.
Oh, prediction result is yes. Yeah, you can in fact play at the level 60 with no restrictions. God.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But yes, so on to Alisaie. Alisaie is the twin sister of the character that follows her. She is a very magically inclined idiot with a heart of gold. She's an extremely competent tactician, a good spellcaster, but her problem is the only spell she knows is sword. Her voice actor, especially in Shadowbringers, is excellent and really
she likes to spam your limit break in the trust.
Yeah. But we're not talking about the trust. I'm talking about like her as a character, and I think Shadowbringers would have been substantially weaker without her. Honestly,
she's a pretty good character. I like her. I gotta definitely put her at like.
I'd put her in S-, honestly.
S-, I think. Yeah. The twins are.
I would put her in S-.
would be upset if we didn't put the twins in the S.
No,
so I mean.
No, hear me out. I put her in S- and Alphino in like A.
Alphino's my boy. I am not putting him any lower. He also like in A Realm Reborn he would be a D. And then in Heavensward he'd be a C.
Yeah.
And then in Stormblood he'd be a C still. Well, no, you're just a B.
You're just really happy because he turns into a sage.
And then Shadowbringers, he'd be an S.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to put him at S-.
All right, go ahead and make the argument for him being an S-. I don't agree with it, but I follow it
because I like to see the development of the character. Like he has had, honestly, I would be honest, more than Alisaie, he has probably had the most development of a character.
Oh, agreed.
Through the entire multiple expansions.
If we've watched him grow up, and with that in mind, yeah, I agree with you. I agree. He didn't shine nearly as much in Shadowbringers, but I think overall he's like, don't take this the wrong way, but he's like the Anakin Skywalker of this game, in that he starts out like a little shit and becomes really cool as the series goes on.
Yeah, that's like probably the best way to like describe this type of character.
Yeah.
Plus, I think the twins are both deserving of their S tier situation.
Okay. Yeah, we've come to it organically too. Yeah.
Alisaie, I can give a little more to because she has a spicy personality that's really enjoyable and just.
She has a spicy personality, but like to me, when I think about Alisaie, there's this scene where you try to reassure her about something that's really bad that's going on, and she basically just gets really angry at you and says, what you're doing isn't mercy, it's cruel. Don't lie and say that things will be okay when you can't promise that. That's a horrible thing to do. And that moment really, really struck me. Do you remember that?
I do. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that moment was what really, like, I already liked her, but that moment really, like, cemented my fondness for the character.
And yeah, I think the twins and their position there is fitting for where that is.
Alphino's growth has been an incredible thing to watch.
If he didn't have the growth, he would definitely be a lot lower. But seeing how he has just grown as a character is why I think
he's grown,
that.
And also how they portrayed his growth too is important. And it's been really good to watch. Yeah, you know what? You've sold me on it.
And next we move to Ardbert. Is it
Ardbert? Yes. Ardbert is.
This one's hard to explain without like getting into spoilers.
Ardbert, I think I know how to put it. Ardbert is a tragic, very isolated character who tried to do the right thing once, twice, 1,000 times, and ended up losing everything for it. A lot of bad things has happened to him, but he's hopeful. He's a really, really, really interesting character and one that is laden with pathos.
He's also really closely tied to your character in the story.
Yes,
yes. Way.
I would give him at least an A.
All right. I'm gonna go A between Gaius, between Samurai Boy, and we're gonna stick him right here in the middle because he definitely helped sell a lot of the points in Shadowbringers.
Yeah,
tuning in just enough to see Emmett as your damn right. See, I told you. Anybody who's going to be watching this on YouTube is absolutely going to be on their edge of their seat until we put Emmett on like S, because anybody who says otherwise is wrong, and anybody who also like would agree with that, unless there's actually some good opinions on that. I'd be interested to hear some actual arguments for why he deserves to be lower. But I think honestly they like could not have sold a better character.
Yeah, agreed wholeheartedly. Like, I don't think everyone loves God, the sheer amount of like fan art and amount of people who wanted to like fuck him after that expansion came out.
Oh, it was so crazy. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like, I remember seeing lots of people with search infos like, if you're playing Emmett Selk, I will bottom for you and stuff like that. It's like incredible.
Oh my god. Yeah, but coming from an RP realm as well. And it's just...
Yeah, exactly. Everyone simps for Emmett. I think Emmett and Ishtola are the two characters people simp for.
Very much so. Very much so. And now we move on to our next boy.
Arenvald. I actually have a soft spot in my heart for Arenvald, and I will explain why.
Is nobody gonna be D tier? Like straight up? I don't.
No, there is one character that I do very much wish to put in D tier, and I think you can guess who.
I know who it is, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. So, Arenvald he's a very minor character early on. He works closely with Alphino. And he's basically just this big, dumb, wholesome guy who's like, I'd have no right being here, but I am anyway, so I'm going to do my damnedest to live up to this. And there's a lot of development that he undergoes in, I think it's Stormblood, and then at the end of Shadowbringers, he and one of my favorite characters from Stormblood actually end up having this, like, rivals where they kind of hate each other but work together relationship, and I think it's really cool to see.
So he's a minor character.
I'd give him at least a B+, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. He's definitely a more memorable or more interesting than Biggs a little bit.
I would definitely rank him above Biggs, but I wouldn't put him in A tier.
I can understand that. Like, yeah, I kind of feel the same way with him, honestly. 'Cause it's definitely that sort of situation.
That's nice.
But with that, next we move onto one of everybody's favorite Ishgardian elves.
What's his name?
I was gonna let you do the name.
No, I actually don't remember it right now.
You
it's blanking.
don't?
No, I don't. I know it starts with an A, but I don't remember his actual name. So I was trying to hope that you'd help me get around that.
It's Emmerich, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Emmerich. That's right. Emmerich is an interesting boy because he's born into privilege and feels really guilty about that. But he does do a lot of things to try to make the world better, and he pays for it repeatedly. Actually, he's
Born into privilege and feeling guilty about it.
Oh,
Is that
yeah,
like your
remember who his
inner
dad is?
communist coming out?
No, it's legitimately like who his father is really gets to him.
Yeah,
Remember?
but that's not so much like wealth as much as my dad's an asshole, and I'm sorry, my dad's a terrible person.
My dad is a terrible person, and I have this position of authority, and I will use that position of authority to make the world better.
It sounded like you were like he was like feeling guilty for being rich, but I think the explanation of his dad's a little more of an interesting take.
Yeah,
than,
he's born into an extraordinarily powerful family, and does his best to use what he has to make the world a better place. He's an interesting boy. Where would you put him, do you think?
Honestly, I kind of liked his Heaven's Sword with this guy was very interesting. He also gets a lot of interesting development during that time.
Yeah.
I kind of like him more than I do. Maybe I'm caught between these two places.
I'm only able to watch on the delay. So which two places are you thinking?
You'll see in a moment. Delay shouldn't be that bad.
I can see you moving between A and C right now.
God, how fast is the delay right now?
You're lingering on B now. At the very end of B, you're holding still. Now you're lowering down to okay. Now you're up to A. Now you're down to B. I would put him in A, honestly.
That's where I'm gonna stick him.
Yeah, I think he deserves A.
So now we move on to everybody's favorite dragoon.
Estinian, the guy who literally spent an entire expansion just soaked in blood, and everyone was too scared to tell him to stop being that way. He's a massive dumbass edgelord who's just... All right, so during Heavensward, he's what's known as the Azure Dragoon. He's like this big bad Dragon Slayer guy.
It's weird to see him because at A Realm Reborn, he kind of gets defeated and is poof gone, and then just suddenly he shows up.
If you're a dragoon, that's what happens. But so what I'm trying to say is, if you're a dragoon, if you're the same as him, everyone gives him the respect of being like the Dragon Slayer, the Azure Dragoon, and you can just go, hey. And you just look at him and he just grumbles quietly because you kicked his ass. It's really funny. You don't exactly say anything about it, but everyone's like, oh, he's the Azure Dragoon, and you're just like, yeah, he is, and he just looks at you, and it's great. I think watching his relationship with Alphino has been a delight.
Oh, it has very much.
I would give him at least an A, I think.
Yeah. See, where I'm sticking him is where I kind of feel
I agree with you.
I like Gaius a little more. My boy is ST.
Which boy is Prillis's boy? Wait. We haven't gotten any lizards yet, Prillis. Which boy are you talking about?
Wow. Currently, this is where I feel like they stand at the moment.
I'm with you. I'm with you on it.
I'm willing to debate that. I'm willing to move them up or down based on
We can readdress it if people criticize.
All right. So now we move on to the bishop,
Thordran. To Thordran the Seventh, who is.
I'm gonna have to probably maybe put him not D, but he's definitely gotta go in.
I think he's C. He's a compelling antagonist. He's a fascinating character, but also we don't see him develop at all. We don't see him change because he's very stuck in his ways. It's kind of the role he fills.
Looking at this, it makes me want to move then that one to definitely the B, and then keep. This is kind of how I feel adjusting this going.
I'm waiting for the adjustment to show up on the stream. Give it a moment. Give it 20
It's
years.
actually already adjusted on the stream preview for me, so it's kind of weird.
Not on my end.
How strange.
It's like the rate of dilation increases over time, like how it goes.
Why don't you refresh it and see if it
All right, I'll refresh the page.
It's okay. We have ads turned off right now, so.
Oh nope, there's an ad.
Is there really?
Yeah, it's for Monster Energy. It's for Monster Energy.
Our our sponsor, Monster Energy. Wow.
Rally your squad now with Monster Energy. All right, so. Okay, I see you put him in C tier and you moved Asahi up to B. Yeah, I buy that. I buy that.
That's kind of how I feel with it.
Yeah.
Now we move on to Sid.
Sid's a kind of complicated one. He's Biggs and Wedge's boss, who we talked about earlier. He does a lot of machiney shit. He's very much a MacGuffineer. But he's also very one-dimensional until very recently, and then they change a bunch of stuff, or so it felt.
He's got some good stuff though. I
feel like he's appropriate.
I kind of his take. He's a Sid. There's a Sid always in a Final Fantasy, and
Yeah, but remember, I'm not a Final Fantasy player, so I don't have that nostalgia that you do.
There's no what? There's not gonna be a nostalgia for one character through a multiple variety of series.
Don't tell me that you wouldn't be like, oh shit, it's Cecil if you saw him.
I wouldn't be like that if I saw Cecil. Why is Cecil of all things? Like, why that one?
Because he's the best boy from Final Fantasy IV. Also, my phone's going off, and I lost it earlier today. Keep going. I'm gonna go find it.
Well, now that Kiki is missing, yeah, I actually think Sid's pretty good. I like his dynamics he has with another character on this list.
I found it.
Oh, you did. Good.
What's up?
And nothing. Let's just move on.
What did I miss?
Nothing. We're gonna move on to who we often just refer to as being Sansi, because we have a character like that we know.
Serena.
Player.
I don't super like Serena, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, it's possible that my perception of her
She's
is kind of colored.
Adorable.
I don't think that way. I don't think she's adorable.
So where would you put her?
I'd put her in C. I don't care about her, honestly. Like, I don't have any emotional tie to her.
Wow. See, I was gonna go with, like, a nice B tier for her, but if you think C, we'll go like C plus, I guess.
Sure.
she has development with the Azim steps. She's part of the Mole tribe. Kind of adorable, and I kind of wish they did more with the steps. Man, they had so much potential to do with the steps.
Yeah,
I wish they did more.
Long story short, for chat, I'm gonna explain how this character works. She begs you to help her people. You help her people, and then you use the fact that you helped her people to win a war. That's it. That's it. She just begs. She just.
There's gonna be people on their edge of their seats for this next one. We have to move to this next one.
God.
There's gonna be people that are definitely going to say she should be in S tier.
So the hipster in me wants to put her in C tier.
Yeah, I know the hipster in you wants to put her in C tier.
But here's the thing. I do still I like Ishtola, but the obsession that some people have for her really rubs me the wrong way. But that's not that can't be reflected for that. I shouldn't let that influence my opinion of the character. I think she's good. I think she's interesting. I think she adds to the scenes she's in, but I don't find her compelling in the same way I find the other S tiers we have. Like, I found she doesn't compel the same way that Emmett Selk does. She doesn't have the same growth that the twins do. I think she's A tier.
Yeah, see, I like Y'shtola a lot. I like how she develops as a character. I like the things she does.
What development does she? Okay, legit. What development does she have?
Okay, so she starts out being able to see in a Realm Reborn, and then
she loses her eye, and then she becomes like a spirit sight. Yeah.
And so that sort of happens. There's then the whole development in Shadowbringers with her take with the relationship with the one guy, and then the entire development there and stuff that also happens. And
she becomes the mentor, and she becomes the mentor to a group of people, and one of them has a crush on her. There's not much to be said for her though. Like, she doesn't really change over time. She's just an attractive cat girl.
She is a pretty attractive cat girl. Okay, A plus then. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, God, man, with Guy. Now, see, I'm caught between Gaius and.
I think I put her above Gaius a little bit, but like.
Okay, we'll put her above Gaius, but Gaius is
legit. I think Gaius adds more to the story than she does, even in just Realm Reborn.
Wow.
Because the Scions don't do much at all for the story.
Yeah, that's a Realm Reborn though, so you got a good point there. That's a pretty good point. But
yeah, like a Realm Reborn Gaius does more for the story than Y'shtola does, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see that.
But yeah,
move things. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go.
Yeah.
And so now we move on to everyone's the fattest Mistel.
All right, so is this Dolia Chai or Chai Nuz?
I don't remember which one is which.
Okay,
the Mistel names confuse me. Yeah, the Chais.
Okay, so this lady is, I like her a lot, honestly. She's this rich lady who kind of doesn't know anything about the world or what's going on, but when she starts kind of learning about how the world works, she basically forces her husband to rise to the occasion, and does a pretty good job providing support. She also really loves Alphino and really encourages his painter dreams.
Oh, the reaction with that is so precious.
It's so good. It's so cute. Yeah, she's adorable. I think I would argue that she's adorable, and I think I'd put her in A tier.
Yeah, where she's positioned, like with A tier, is where I kind of feel.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah, I think so,
Aardvark's
too.
development, and I like
And Americ's development's also good too.
yeah, like I like where she stands right there in terms of
Yeah.
like character. I think that's pretty good. I don't think their husband's on the list though.
Yeah, China's and Dulia chat. Where I'm gonna look around and see if I can see him.
I don't see him.
Okay, so real quick context for people who don't know, which is probably everyone. One of the like minions that you could get in like I think it was for pre-ordering Shadowbringers. I don't remember exactly how you got it, but it was her with like was a little like toy her with her husband as like a stuffed doll under her arm because he's a scrawny little thing and it's adorable.
It was really cute. Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
It wasn't for pre-ordering, but I forgot like how you.
Yeah, there was some really specific way to get it.
And now we move on to Elidibus.
Oh, hang on! I just realized something. By the way,
Yes.
the elf that we have right now in B tier, the one that I thought was that is still Harshifont's brother, but it's not the brother I thought it was. He's just I would move that boy into C tier. He's hyper forgettable. He's just angry and
So
pouty.
he is forgettable. Okay, yeah, I'll move him there.
I put him in C tier.
Oh, it's the other one that you were thinking
Yeah.
of, who technically
Yeah.
goes. Yeah, but we
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
had him like
yeah.
here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
other one, and then that is
Yeah.
the. Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
art book for the Chai Minion. Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you, Reg. Also, hi. Good to see you.
Hey. Yeah, it's good to see you.
All right, so now we're on to Elidibus, who is a fantastic boy.
Oh,
Not as good as
Oh man.
So Elidibus, for context, is he's the plotter, he's the schemer, he's the more subdued counterpart to Emmett Selk. He does a lot. He's involved in a lot of stories. He's involved in the Warring Triad, which is this whole thing that involves these gods that are waking up. He does a lot. I'd put him in either S- or A.
I have to
'Cause
put him in
he's-
S-. That like
Okay, yep, absolutely.
like-
with how his story ends.
when you find out everything with his story, up
Yeah,
to
absolutely,
even
yes.
the music that plays during
Yep.
that fight.
Okay,
That
yep, absolutely.
all
S-.
to the edge
Agreed.
is just too
my God.
amazing.
We're gushing, by the way. Okay. So yeah, his story ends in an incredible, beautiful moment. The arc that leads up to his story's conclusion is some of the best delving into the game's own lore that I've ever seen. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it involves the Echo, which is kind of the special touch of the goddess that you get right, like, at the start of the game.
That's gonna immediately move us on to Crystal Exarch, who I also am gonna have to put in S tier. Like,
agreed immediately.
Oh, between these characters, I cannot
Best boy.
decide where to put this. So I'm gonna stick him in the middle between
This is, all right.
because
Okay, yep, absolutely, agreed.
oh, I cannot even like. Oh,
Yeah, he's a very good boy. His story's incredible. He's very soft and cute, and he's just excellent. I can't figure out how to explain him without context, but he's like the kind of soft-spoken, subdued hero that is honestly really rare in this kind of genre. He's not grand, he's not boisterous, he's a hero, but not in the person on the front lines way. He's interesting. I like him a lot.
there's a lot we can't say without like immediately going.
I'm
into
desperately
spoilers.
trying to not spoil anything.
Yeah, but simply to
Right.
say this is a really, like just amazing character.
Next is Feo Ul, who
The loveliest of branches, as she calls you.
they're non-binary. The pixies are all non-binary.
I like how that's like the first thing you you mention out of this, rather than like the branches part, the loveliest of branches.
Oh yeah, but you know, I had to correct you first before I could go on to explaining things.
Wow.
So Feo Ul is essentially a pixie who just kind of facilitates your ability to work with your retainers, invades their dreams to tell them to do stuff for you, and kind of unfortunately serves as one of the as the access point to one of the weakest parts of Shadowbringers. I'd put them in high C, low B. They don't do it for me really.
Whoops. High
don't find
C,
them
low B.
I find them kind of uninteresting, honestly. I don't like the pixies.
Kind of like the Pixies a little bit, but in terms of development, she doesn't get much. Although she does
Yeah,
have
they
like
don't.
some interesting dialogue with you.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of stuff that they do. They're okay.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I guess B- is where I'm gonna have to go with that for now. Then.
Yeah.
I'm good. I could debate that. I could definitely move that up. If there were like good arguments for it or not. But
yeah.
what about Fidola?
Fordola. So Fordola is actually my favorite character from Stormblood. Fordola is she's an auxiliary of a conquered people who does a lot of bad things because she doesn't see any other option and she wants to try to make things better in the only way she can see how. Her plans fail, she undergoes a lot of bad things, but she doesn't die, and she undergoes a sort of redemption and progression arc. I like her a lot. I like where her character goes. I'd give her at least an A.
Yeah, I could see the A. I'm definitely thinking a little more than these individuals, just because she gets some real interesting development. She doesn't.
To me, she absolutely is my favorite part of the expansion she's in, and without her, it would have been her and also, the goodest cat who. Minago, but Minago's not on this list.
Yeah, we don't have that on this list. Interesting.
That picture is way too small. I can't see who the next guy is. I'm gonna have to full screen
This is the guy that helps you.
Oh, that's Geralt. That's Geralt.
Yeah.
Oh god, Geralt. So Geralt's a drunkard, a blacksmith. He constantly owes money to his ex-wife, and she constantly uses that as leverage to get him to do things that help the world out. He's okay. I'd put him in C tier. He doesn't really do... He's a very one-note character that keeps coming back. What do you think? I think I'd put him above Serena.
I'm gonna just adjust this a little bit, because it's like a little more... of what I think of with this. But,
okay.
Man, yeah. Yeah, again, I'm debatable with his position. I don't really have much input on him. Okay, so then we have Godbert Manderville.
Godbert Manderville. He's the owner of this massive casino that doesn't know how to make money. He's a very rich man who typically runs around in his underwear. He's
as you can see with the picture.
He's regarded as also the picture's mostly off screen right now. Can you see it?
Is it? Sorry.
Yeah, it's completely. You have to move it to the right a little bit.
I did not know that. Yeah, I have to
Yeah. So, he's a Manderville man. He's essentially he's the strongest man. He's a massive. He's a quintessential Chad, as how I'd put him. I put him in A.
Yeah, he's definitely deserving in the spot A, but it's like
he's an A, but he's completely separate from the rest of the his art. Every time he shows up, it's not canon.
We'll stick him there then.
Yeah, he's an A, but he's for very different reasons than everyone else. He's just a delight. He's an A for awesome. And oh god, next.
And next is gonna be
Next is all right. So I want you to imagine a golden retriever and turn that golden retriever into an elf. He's S tier. He's the goodest boy, and I love him with all my heart.
Oh man, yeah.
He's one of the characters who
you cannot mention this character without he's
there's a line that he says that
you have to be super careful with spoilers on this one.
No. There's a line that he says to try to lift your spirits that you get the opportunity to say to someone else in Shadowbringers. And when I saw that it was an option, I literally cried. He's such a good boy.
Yeah.
And he also helps you out in your time of absolute most need. He gives you hot chocolate. Oh yeah, Prellis, he gives you hot chocolate. Exactly.
Oh.
And next is but next is Hien.
Hien. That's it.
Yeah, Hien is a weird one for me. Because the thing about Hien is, I kept waiting for him to betray us and turn on us, and then he never did. And so he's just like a himbo with weird ideas. He's a lord who's been outcast from his castle, and he doesn't. Ooh.
I have to invade because I have such strong feelings against Hien.
We have a Prellis here.
Are you also suspicious of Hien?
He's just so aggressively good. It's just He's like a lukewarm cup of something. I don't know what.
I keep waiting for him to betray us. I was certain that he was going to in Stormblood, and he just didn't. And so he's just this himbo that does nice things, and it's like, what are you?
He's so fucking. He's milquetoast in the worst way. He's like a. How to put this?
I love the idea of this lizard just scrambling off of a ship, storming into our cave to demand that we talk about Ian.
Yep, fucking Ian. I fucking left the submarine because I'm getting sleepy, but I'm awake for this shit. Because fucking Ian. He's just like... I don't know, I got the weirdest fucking impression when the initial fucking interaction is like, hey, these people need to prove they even want me at all, and it's like, what? Okay.
Ian, I would put him in. I think I'd like, for me personally, I get weirded out whenever I see him. I put him in C tier, but
yeah, I'd put him C, and then you've got the fucking weirder bits of like the actual fucking through line of how he does his thing.
Yeah,
he's like he had a whole character arc, but it was all like
off screen.
Yeah, it's like it was written in the fucking Chris Christie book for World of Warcraft.
Oh my fucking god! What?
Okay. So I think this would be a good spot. Perlis, what do you think of the list so far? What is your take on this?
What are your comments?
Okay, first I have to explain the weirdness that I've said. World of Warcraft has a really bad habit of just like putting major plot points in books that no one reads and then acting like you've read the whole goddamn thing, memorized the whole goddamn thing, and swiftly moves on without mentioning a single goddamn thing that happened in that book.
And then in the next expansion, you have these new characters that exist, but you don't know how they got there.
Yeah.
How the Star Wars sequel trilogy only makes sense if you've read the backstory books.
Somehow, Palpatine returned.
I think that's my favorite. I think my favorite thing about Episode 9 is how it's like, hey, yeah, this entire trilogy is good because it references things that are good. We please love us, please love us. Mm-hmm. We don't have our own identity, but please love us. Episode 8 was so promising.
Hold on, let me I have opinions, but first let's go to this list.
Yes.
What's his face with the face paint and the plate armor? I have a very particular experience. Yeah, Ehrenwald. I have a very particular experience with him.
Yeah?
In that I don't think I interacted with him for the entirety of ARR. And then in like Stormblood, he shows up and he's like, hey, buddy, Alpha No, and Warrior of Light. Hey, how's my friends doing? And I'm just like...
He shows up, he's in... Alright, so here's the
thing. I don't even know you, sir. Who are you? Why are you acting like you know me and my son?
He's in 2.x, which is the part where everyone clocks out mentally.
Sounds right.
And
I even did it before they wrote out all the fucking Chocobo stable cleaning business or whatever the hell happens there.
I have one character who's... Yeah, we're getting derailed. How do you feel about the list?
I mean, we're kind of talking about him.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's all right. I very strongly dislike Bullcut Ambassador Dude.
Oh,
and I can't tell... I can't remember his name for the life of me. The sister of what's-her-face did,
Yeah, Asahi is his name.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's very strong. I hate his guts, but they did an amazing job writing him.
I can't tell how much of my hating his guts is fucking him just being like a fucking kind of lousy character or just intentionally hateable.
I want to punch. Yeah. So he was an interesting one for us because
hyper-manipulative sociopath. Yeah, go on.
In terms of like, so this was interesting because in terms of how much I wanted to hate him, and if that was what they were going with, then he would definitely be S tier because I want to punch his guts out. But because I hate him, I wanted to put him in D tier.
Exactly. So we had to average it because
we just ended up averaging it. Yeah.
It doesn't feel because he's in Stormblood, and that shit's like submerged in stuff of just weird feelings. I feel like he's intended to be a more like we kind of like him, but you hate him, but you kind of like him, and now you just hate him.
For me, there are like...
Where would you move him to? Where would we move him to?
C or D, honestly. Like, that seems about right.
I'll go with Twitter.
For me, here's the thing for me. He inspires more emotion and he's more memorable, and thinking about him as a thing that happens is more possible than it is than for any of the other characters that are currently in C tier. I don't really think about those people. At least he had an impact, is what I will say about him.
Fair. I don't know. Turbo Pope was pretty cool.
Turbo Pope was really cool, but also he was also a very one-note character.
Fair.
Yeah, he was a villain for Heaven's Sword, and then that was it. Like he didn't get anything after that.
But more than that, like he also wasn't super the villain of Heaven's Word. He was just the final thing that had been hinted at. Like you don't see him at all, which made sense. Like it worked. I'm not criticizing Heaven's Word. I'm just saying that he's not the strength of the expansion. You know?
Yeah. He does have a cool fight, though. I'll give him.
Yeah, a fantastic fight, fantastic hat.
The whole bunch of them.
Yeah, if we have to go to the fight, then we've definitely got to move him closer to like B.
Yeah, that is true. But let's put him in B tier. Let's do that.
Okay. Is there anything else on the list that you're debatable with, Perlis? Because I am pretty flexible with this.
I really like Warrior of Light because, like, the OG boy.
Not involved.
Bert, what's his face? Ardbert, yeah.
I
really enjoyed him.
I liked him a lot.
I liked him a lot as well.
I wasn't aware the in-room was haunted.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favorite lines of the expansion.
Yes, it's so good. But, all right. Should we talk about Hilda next, or should we talk about Ardbert? Hilda's the next character.
We already talked about Ardbert because he's on there.
Yeah.
So Hilda.
So Hilda's our next character, and Hilda, I liked Hilda.
She has the perfect, like the ears. I want those ears for a Midlander.
I absolutely do not remember her.
Okay, so here's how she works. She's this sort of like, she's basically referred to as like the half breed because she's the half human, half elf child of one of the noble lords, and she's very downtrodden. She's kind of
isn't she?
She's the mongrel.
Isn't she the machinist you meet during?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I would put her in A at least. I think.
Yeah.
Because she's an interesting character.
She's firmly all right.
She's
I didn't have any.
Yeah. She makes my communist heart sing. Honestly, I love. Yeah, that feels right to me. And yeah, exactly. You got it. You got it. Got it in one.
Filthy commie.
Next is Hildebrand.
Filthy commie. Okay, go on.
We're talking about Hildebrand. Hildebrand is an experience. Hildebrand is a gateway to the wild, stupid bullshit this game lets you experience from time to time.
I like wild and stupid bullshit, I'll be honest.
He definitely goes at least at the same tier as his father, but here's the thing. I think his father's more like he's like the sort of like the straight man middle ground for the bullshit. Like he makes it all happen, but he very much shines when he's bouncing off the other stupid bullshit characters, you know?
Yeah.
I think I'd put him about the same point as his dad. He's also the son. He calls himself. He refers to himself as what is his title? Like the detector. What did you do to the border?
Sorry, I was adjusting some things. There we go.
What did you do?
Technical difficulties.
One of the things you first learn about him is that he tried to fly to the fucking moon as it was falling down, and he's been presumed dead for 5 years.
Oh my god.
And then you learn that he's just been hanging out with these zombies that have learned his fancy ways. That's your introduction to Hildebrand, and it's incredible.
And I've not done this quest line, so I don't know. I have no strong opinions.
Oh, you have to do that quest line if you have not.
If I have to, I'll drag you into it. All right, next. Oh god, look who's next.
Oh yeah.
You can step on me any day.
Oh my god.
So, why don't you give this character summary? Because I will color it.
So she has like a really epic.
What's her name? What
was her name?
Yatsuyu.
Yeah, why don't you tell me the name instead of making me like actually like?
Because I assumed you have some sort of memory for this game you sunk 10,000 hours into.
Yeah, but I'm not good with names. Like my weak spot
What's
has
my name?
always. I don't know. My weak spot has always been names. So it's like, you know, I can remember the character. I can remember their actions. I can remember little minute details about them. But when it comes to names, I'm like.
So this is Yatsuyu. she was appointed like governess of Doma, which is the the Far Eastern land, because she hated the place and the person in charge wanted her to make things suffer. Why does she hate her homeland? Because she was treated badly as a kid by her parents and the people around her. Her whole deal is that she was treated badly, so now she's evil. I hate her.
She gets a redemption arc.
And then she almost gets a redemption arc. And their only way to pitch a redemption arc was to say, oh, by the way, she actually forgot everything that happened to her. I hate her. I hate everything about her design. I hate her that she's Dommy Mommy Step on Me aesthetic. I hate her. I would put her in D tier. I would put her in D- tier.
No, she needs to be taken down a peg because like the redemption arc falls so flat. If she were just the villain, it'd be like, all right, sure, comic book evil.
I think
if she were just
as a villain, she's C tier, and with the redemption arcs, I think she's D tier. I do not like this character at all. She's the most I don't like her, and I see you put her in B. Do you have something you say about her?
I think she needs to go a little, at least a tier lower.
What do you think? How do you feel about this character?
How about? I'm trying to there we go.
I have very strong, very negative feelings about this character.
She has a really cool looking like boss fight aesthetic though.
Yeah, we're not talking about the boss fight. We're talking about the character.
Yeah, I know, but it's just she's got them vibes about
it. Next time we'll rank fights because I would rank her fight pretty high.
Okay, I'm not ranking the fight itself though. I'm talking about aesthetics,
She's got solid aesthetics, but that's about it.
I find the aesthetics.
I might have liked her character more if they didn't try to ram the redemption arc real fucking hard.
Everything about her character offends me. Her backstory is viscerally irritating.
I'm gonna not participate in this one because you're asking the Incubus what their thoughts on Step on Me, Dommy Mommy here.
Horny has a.
I'm sorry, Scylla. I forgot that you're a massive bottom.
Not a bottom. Screw you.
This character.
Anyways,
oh
my god.
What if she stepped on me? I want to put her in S tier because she might step on me.
No, that's what I was putting. I like her aesthetic though. Even the Moon Bunny aesthetic is pretty spot on.
What about Patch's opinions though?
I don't care about that.
I can't think about the Moon Bunny without thinking about that.
Wow, it's a good aesthetic though.
It's okay.
So okay. So I'm gonna is this where you guys would stick it? I'm gonna let you guys pick where you place this one.
I know where I would put her is in D tier. This is the one character of the game I would put in D tier.
For Alyssa, you have the saving grace for her.
That sounds about right. Being perfectly honest for you. If it were either component of just this tragic person who hates on account of this her experiences, but she didn't do the monstrous things, it could work as a redemption arc.
For me, for Alyssa, the other big antagonist in the expansion is Xenos, who is just evil because he's full of ennui.
He's fucked. Yeah.
He's allowed.
Also, he is horny for the main character.
Yeah, the point is, you've got Xenos, who is just he's privilege and ennui incarnate, and then you've got the lady character who's just elevated to a position. She's only there because of a guy, and she's there because people were mean to her when she was young. It feels bad to me.
Yeah.
Cyclops, I'm ignoring your thing. Now moving on to Kane Senna. I think that is definitely a C there. I'm definitely going to have to say C on this one.
Are you talking over me? Because Cyclops
agrees that you're a bottom? This one is particularly a good C. Because she doesn't have too much development. She's definitely the weakest known of the...
Definitely the weakest later.
Yeah, absolutely agreed, bottom.
She she is very much in this
I'm very noble. I'm very much a white mage.
Yeah. She's in the same brand of milquetoast as Hien.
I think for me, the thing is, there's some interesting criticisms of white mage that happen in later white mage quest lines, but but Gridania never gets touched by that stuff. She's just kind of boring.
There's gonna be people that are gonna fangirl over her and they're gonna be like, your opinion is wrong.
Well, I mean, are they bottoms that want her to step on them like you are? Or
I don't want Kane Senna.
She's too nice for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like an angel type of thing. I'm not about that.
Angels are very.
We're talking we're not talking about the Eldritch version. We're not talking about the Eldritch. We're talking the Italian Renaissance version of angel here.
Oh, the really boring milquetoast guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, in that sense, yeah, I agree with her being in C tier. Next is Kryl, And I feel like if I touch on my biggest criticism of Cryle, you'll touch on your single biggest counter argument for Cryle.
Okay.
Why the fuck does she have a cat ear hoodie?
Well, yeah, that's
Adorable.
because that's like, yeah, that's a devout. That's a Final Fantasy job.
But why did that job have a cat girl hoodie?
Ah, that's the
I'm
Because
guessing
it's
that
Final
Cat Girls-
Fantasy, and they don't
I'm-
have unanimous art style in
I'm
this
guessing,
game.
yeah, I'm
Fight me.
guessing that cat girls didn't exist in that setting. But like, imagine just like a Miqo'te wearing a hoodie with human ears on it. That's weird and dumb, right?
I don't think that's weird or dumb
Why is that not weird and dumb to you?
because it's kind of cute.
Oh,
How?
God.
I don't want her to step on me. Long pause. This is very confusing.
I think she's an
God.
interesting character, but I hate her aesthetic. I put her in like high B tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's a decent character going from that
High-
angle.
High B tier. Okay, does
Yeah.
that work?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put her above Arenvald. I like her more than him.
All right, now we have Hildebrand's sidekick.
This is Nashu. So
I'll
what we
step
said.
back for a second while you have fun with
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Let's just put her in A tier with the other two because she's part of the unholy like set, and then we'll not talk about.
You can't have this
You
without.
can't. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't have one without the other, really.
Yeah, it's just that aesthetic is just too.
Yeah. Yeah. Prillis, you can come back now. We're not really talking about things. Prillis?
He just like
Prillis?
I can't get
I got up to wash my face. It looked good.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hi, we're about to talk about the one
Lord
Lalafell.
Lorelito.
Ah, you remember
Oh, yeah,
all
that
the
guy.
names, even this person.
Yeah, Lord Lorelito was a really. I think he was a high point of ARR, honestly.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
was.
So this is he's what's called a monetarist. He's basically this merchant lord who's trying to undermine the Sultanate. He's this big antagonist of the first part, and coming from a 3-foot tall man with a massive mustache and a blindfold, it's incredible. He's a devious little shit who works to make things better for his own ends, and I kind of like him a lot. I think he's a good antagonist.
He is. I kind of want to stick him right there because it's like
I'd kind of
Yeah.
like him more if they didn't just like undercut his entire thing. Nah.
They undercut
It's
his thing
hard
with.
to like. They didn't.
There was the whole Teleji and Elegy thing that happened after too.
The Teleji Adeleji arc, or at least how that finishes, and how what's his face, you know who,
Yeah.
just like gets back while he's just like, hey, no hard feelings. It made me a lot of money, but I'm interested in governmental stability right now. So
Yeah. I
you
think-
can come back.
I think like, just looking at ARR, he's an interesting character. But later on, there's some
I have mixed feelings about that because one, it's exactly the kind of weaseliness that is like perfectly in character.
he's very
On
much
the other hand, it feels like a fucking anticlimax.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I'm
they just
gonna
sort of dropped
move
him in
him.
a bit.
I'm gonna go A- then because I think that's a better
Sounds right.
take in that regard. And now we move on to Louis Soir.
I just realized what he is. What he makes me think of.
Oh,
He's a fucking Ferengi.
yeah, he is
Yeah,
a
exactly.
Ferengi.
The rules of acquisition say I'm a Weasley little shit. You can come back, one-armed man.
Yeah. And let's see, next is Grandpa, whose name suddenly escaped me.
Daddy Louis Soir.
Yeah, Louis Soir. Louis Soir is a bit of a weird one because he mostly is a background character, except for one massive fuck you spoiler that we are not talking about.
Yeah, we don't want to go into that one. That's
Yeah.
gonna be
Which is
some
of the least played content in the game, but with some of the best writing, honestly.
It does. It's why I want to stick him in A tier, but I think we
see.
should diverse the list a little bit. Maybe
Let's put him in high B. I like him a lot. I think he's really interesting, but most of what I like about him is endemic to where he comes from. And I like that a lot.
Yeah, I can definitely see that sort of. So I think. What do you have any opinions, Brillis?
I have no strong feelings one way or the other because I don't feel like I know him.
Okay, that's
He's like a background character.
He's a
you read
background
about in
character.
lore,
Exactly.
and like that only comes up when you walk to the giant dragon skeleton in the mountains or something, and everyone's just like all like, "Oh, he's such a big deal. You'd have loved to have
I
met him, but
highly
you can't. You
recommend-
didn't play the first game."
Prillis,
Sorry.
one of these days, I'm gonna walk you through where he shows up, and I want you to experience it because it's really cool.
Okay.
Next is
One day.
Livia. Next is Livia, and Livia is Amaric's assistant and also sister of the super simp that really loves Gaius.
She was
I put
actually
her in
pretty
C
cool.
tier.
she's pretty cool.
I don't remember her at all, honestly. I remember liking her, but I can't tell if that's just because I'm gay or not.
Yeah,
she's pretty neat. Doesn't have a whole lot of like.
Doesn't have a whole lot.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Basically, she doesn't have a whole lot of strong characterization moments, but what she has is like, she has a cool thing going for her. Comes from like some evil empire.
Yeah, I pair her with Amaric. I just say that the two of them go together.
You can't separate them.
And next is Bunny Captain.
You don't remember her name?
No, I don't. I remember it's 4 letters, like Lyra or something. Do you remember?
I do not, but I liked her.
Rishi was able to like do her accent really good.
S tier specifically for the one cutscene that I'm sure you all know.
Lyna. Okay, wait. I sure.
The one where she has an absolute fucking breakdown in response to some shit that has gone down.
Yeah,
a righteous breakdown.
That was a really good scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's either high A or low F.
Yeah.
It's only because you're competing with perfection.
Yeah, let's put her in low. Let's put her in high A.
Yeah, I think high A is. I
she's
kind of
not
still
one of my
like
children, but she's good.
Yeah.
Not one of my children.
Yes.
Oh, I see why you're saying that.
All good Warrior of Lights have at least 3 children by this point in the story.
And next is Magni. Fucking goddamn Magni.
Oh, this fucking guy.
So Magni is one of the people that you meet at the Azim Step. He's the leader of the biggest group and the most prominent one. And he gets absolutely fucking dunked on by Y'shtola in one of the greatest scenes in this fucking game.
Oh, Colin, yeah.
I'd put him in C tier because his reaction is the one thing that elevates him to an art form. He's very one note, but the moment where he got dunked on was good.
He's one note, but at least, when they dunk on him, they seem to at least be self-aware about how he is, which like elevates his quality.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to move him like around here then.
Put him above Hien. No matter what, he's above Hien. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just like organize this list a little more.
Yeah, let's organize the list a little bit.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's a little better.
And next
it's Matoya.
Is Master Matoya.
Oh, I like Matoya a lot.
I love her.
Like Matoya a lot.
Okay, I'm gonna explain her though. Okay, you should let me explain the characters before you dive into it. So Master Matoya she's Y'shtola's mentor. She's this crotchety, angry old woman who lives in a cave and has a secret magical fortress living underneath her hut.
Don't forget the frog army of servants.
She has an army of frog servants and a bunch of brooms that just maintain her home that are sapient, that she's enchanted. She's incredible. She's the crotchetiest old fuck that I've ever seen, and I love her with all my heart.
She also refers to Y'shtola as her like a stray, but she's her stray.
Yeah, she's Y'shtola's mother figure basically. And the two of them have a really fun relationship that's really nice to watch play out.
Mm-hmm. She cares. She'll wag her spoon at you, but she's also going to make the best pie ever for you. Not in exactly that order, but the sentiment's the same for crotchety old witch.
Yeah. And next is Lord de Fortin. I don't remember his first name, but he's
firmly in the nice category. He's
a nice boy.
High B or low A.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Master Matoya is one of my favorite characters. You meet her near the end of Heavensward, and her cave is basically is really close to this massive construct of time warp bullshit. She's great. I love her. But
she basically got sick of the wizard politics and just sort of wandered off to go do her own thing.
Literally, she went, "Hey, wizard politics, you're full of shit. I'm going now.
I'm gonna get shit done." Bye.
Where did you put that character, by the way, Scylla? I didn't even see you rank someone.
Okay, so this one is right here. You'll see him in a moment.
She's right beside.
Oh, yeah. Just quietly put him into A tier. Yeah, he's just a nice guy. He narrates. He narrates. He's basically he's the Bilbo Baggins.
He's got a good voice for it.
He has a great voice. He's a fascinating. He's a sad man who has suffered a great loss, but does his best regardless, and I like him a lot.
The next one is Big Admiral Lady Hot.
Yeah, next one. Next one.
First off, correct. Second off,
I'm
has a
gonna
fucking-
refrain from voting on this one for obvious reasons.
all right,
I'm gonna
so
let you guys
Admiral-
vote because I
right,
will
so-
put her in, like.
Admiral Merlewib is the pirate queen. She has a double-barrel pistol on her hip.
She's amazing.
She's
What's the name of
incredible.
her pistol, by the way? It has a
I
cool
don't-
name.
It has a her
Yeah,
pistol.
I
she
forgot the
named-
names of them, but
Hang
they
on,
were
I'm gonna
really
look that up.
awesome.
Admiral Merlewib's. Her two pistols. She has two pistols. The first one is called Death Penalty, and the second one's named Annihilator.
Yeah, cool ass names.
I love the idea of a pistol, like the pistol owned by the Admiral named Death Penalty. I love it. Okay, so she's basically the reason why the pirates went legit. She's a very forward-thinking like admiral of a city of pirates. She's great. I love her. She's S tier. She's also really big and really hot. Simple
I
as that.
agree with all of that, except like maybe S tier feels a bit strong for her.
I would put
See,
her-
I would have put your Stola in S tier as well, but Kiki was like, no.
I don't like Ishtola. I don't think Ishtola deserves S tier.
Well,
And
Okay.
I don't know if Merlewib does either, honestly.
my opinions on Merlewib are basically all tinged by the sheer amount of times I have to deal with her in ARR,
Yeah, well, the thing is,
where she's
Merlewib,
just also a generic like.
the problem is when post ARR she does the most out of all the city leaders.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is why she's the highest city leader.
Yeah. And next, what's her name?
Minfilia.
Minfilia. Yeah, right. Next is Minfilia, who is possibly the most generic character in this game.
She's
She
pretty
doesn't
hot.
deserve to be
I'd
in
put her
the
in-
A's.
I'd
She
put her
doesn't
in-
deserve to be in the A's.
I would
We
put
don't
her
get
in-
enough.
Oh.
Hot
I would
take.
actually. Yeah, go ahead.
Hot take. We don't get enough time with her to actually appreciate her. She is still stained by all the hatred for all the signs you build up over the entirety of
Do you want to
ARR.
know what? Do you want to know what my impression of her is?
What?
Helpless maiden that you have to rescue a bunch of times. I would put her in low C personally. I have zero impression of her. Like she basically is just I am the quest giver. I am the light.
Okay,
Sounds
so
about
Please
right.
rescue me from the boy that captured me.
I technically own the magic staff.
Chris, reasonable likes. The other two, also those reasonable likes combine with tremendous bottomness. Hey,
These other two are
Wow.
borderline horny on main.
I am okay. No comment.
now this is a tough
Borderline.
one. This is a tough one.
Who's this guy? Is that
Uh,
Nero?
Let me. Oh, that's fucking Yoshi P. He's S tier.
He's S tier.
Don't remember
it's-
this guy.
No, okay. So this is okay. Let me reframe. This is the traveling minstrel who gives you access to he gives you access to the extreme versions of some raids or some trials, but B, he's literally Yoshi P's avatar within the game. Yoshi P is the developer, is the leader of the dev team, and I don't think I could live with myself not putting him on, like not. I think I need to express my appreciation for the work by putting him up like at S tier. That's my opinion.
I mean, at that
What do you-
point, you might as well just do this. But I can already sense the rage of him itself
Nah.
not having number one place. So
I think having him in S tier is enough. That's my opinion.
Uh,
I don't know about you guys, but I felt the ground tremble a little bit when I moved him in cells to second.
Yeah, it was me. It was me for every fucking Alpha No, Alice A, fucking Crystal Exarch past.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think-
so just for the sake of the man and the legend himself,
Okay,
we'll
okay,
like.
so- yeah. If we're just looking at the character, I think he's C tier, but what the character represents elevates him.
Yeah, I think the elevation is important. So yeah, I think that's fine.
Sleepy.
Moonbrita, who is
Well, and Brita,
it was set up
I'm
to just be a
shocked that you-
tragic case.
I'm shocked that you remember her name.
I do too, because she is like the one character I liked in all of ARR.
Yeah.
And then fucking spoilers, hold your fucking ears if you haven't heard of this. They fucking killed her. I'm
They
still mad about it.
They kill her in a really weird way too. She just kind of dies.
Basically, she gets written out like instantaneously
It's like
to illustrate the dickbaggery of a.
it's
one of the
it
guys.
was a very George R.R. Martin move.
Yeah, she was set up entirely to get killed off, and it showed. Like, Franken Rishi was calling it early on.
Yeah, it just felt weird because typically this game's writing has a lot of respect for the player. Like, hey, yeah, here's this interesting character that you can get invested in. But that was just here's this interesting character you can get invested in so that she dies. And it just felt kind of cheap almost.
I don't know. The way she's I don't disagree with the cheapness, but the way she's like actually likable compared to everyone else at that point,
Yeah,
it feels like a weird fluke.
That's what I mean. Like, she's actually got a lot of personality, and she's willing to do stuff. She's not just like cautious trope. I liked her a lot, and I thought she added, but then she died immediately. And I agree with where you put her.
So now we move on to
Yugiri.
Yugiri. That's right.
She's an adorable little ninja lemur who you meet before the lizard girls were added to the game at all. She's very important in Stormblood, and I liked her. There's one moment that I got really upset about that involved her, but I can't really fault her for that moment. There's a scene where it's like, oh, the big bad, he's so dangerous and scary. What if we all...
Sorry.
I'm gonna rush him.
I just had a visceral goddamn flashback, and I need to take Hien down a goddamn peg real quick.
Oh no!
That fucking scene where the fucking roof is collapsing after this big siege, and he fucking catches that shit, and it gets fucking shot several times, and Hien's just like, "Hello, friend. I need you to understand that I am very thankful for all you have done. Roof collapses just a bit more."
Yeah, Gosetsu's a good boy who deserved a better lord.
Basically. Gosetsu's a bit of a flat character, but he's a simple and standard good boy.
Do you remember his introduction?
He literally fucking sailed across the goddamn sea, is like, goddamn, I'm hungry, and passes out.
He steps off the boat, there's the like the very stereotypical music, and then as it hits a chord, he just falls on his fucking face and passes out. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yugiri, my opinion on Yugiri is she is aggressively generic, I guess I
think I'd put her in B tier. She's okay.
Yeah. She had like sense of duty and not a whole lot else going for her character wise.
Yeah.
Is that better?
There's not much. Yeah. My thing about her is she doesn't get much of a chance. She has plenty of chances to develop, but she doesn't take them. You know what I mean?
Basically. Also, she has flesh-colored scales, and that wigs me out.
Okay, so what about the Sultana?
I don't like the Sultana.
I didn't either, but I respect her for at least taking, like, I respect her for making the attempt to, like... how to put this? Essentially to step down into even more of a figurehead role than already and try to turn her nation into a democracy.
Yeah, I do
sitting basically at the top of it. Not right at the top, she didn't have the sincere power. So I respect her as a character, even if I'm not fond of her. For the longest time, I called her Strawberry Princess in the most derogatory term possible.
I'd personally put her in B tier. That's my opinion of her.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Is that a good spot?
Yeah. Yeah, that feels reasonable to me.
She's firmly in the middle tier of the leaders.
Yeah. She's not nearly as interesting as Merlwyb, and she's substantially less offensive than Kanisena. And oh god, next.
Now we move to my least favorite character.
God, okay, so this is Lise. Lise is the central character of Stormblood, and here's how Lise gets introduced. One of my favorite characters was revealed to actually be someone completely different, pretending to be her.
A sister, if I recall right.
Her younger sister. And so one of my favorite characters, one of the only two scions with any personality at that time, ended up being this kind of mopey, like,
hot
princess.
Take.
Yeah.
Hot take. She was only half a personality because the other personality is next on the tier list.
Yeah.
The other half.
Yeah, but Ida and Papalymo went so perfectly together. They were such an incredible duo. Like
Brain and Brawn and just
Brain. Yeah. Like Papalymo the sage and Ida the dumbass gremlin who wears a mask was such a perfect duo, you know?
I like how she's also
they split the duo apart.
I like how she's also a Midlander who's like Queen of the Highlanders.
Oh yeah. They went, okay, so this princess character, she's the princess of another group of people that she's not part of.
She's not even princess, she just like... I still have strong opinions on that scene, and I have to like line this up for you.
Yeah,
she's basically like how to put this? They're like angling for her to be a figurehead of the movement, and that could have been an interesting angle to play. Only the person actually in charge gets mortally wounded in battle, looks straight past the second in command that's been separating him the entire time, and she never gets another goddamn line in the entire campaign after that point. That second in command character.
So fucking dirty.
Yeah, and then fucking Lise is just like, it's like, yes, I will take this mantle. And he's like, yes, take this mantle. You must lead them. Anyway, who the heck are you? Get away from me, you dirty same cat girl. I don't recognize you.
She's also, isn't she explicitly like the daughter of the Mad King or whatever?
I don't think so. I think she as a personality was not at any point like cut out for any form of leadership. I thought the angle they were gonna play was like she's been put into a figurehead role and resents that and tries to actually learn to be a leader, but no, she just kind of settles into leadership role, shows very little actual leadership, and just kind of continues to exist in that leadership role to this day.
It's deeply unfortunate.
Basically. I'm still fucking miffed that they
wrote. I'm miffed that they went, oh yeah, this character, it's actually someone else pretending to be her.
Yeah. I have no connection to the OG Scions, so...
I liked Ida. Ida was the one Scion. Ian and Papalima were like the Scions I liked. I didn't really like or appreciate anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went, hey, yeah, this character who's just an idiot lady who punches stuff a lot and is very cheerful. She's actually this really sad girl who's very like conflicted, but is also the princess or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think she's actual legit.
Yeah.
Like, actually legit princess. I think she just kind of gets thrust into the leadership and then and then actually fucking excels despite pretty plainly being kind of ditzy.
Well, no, you do all the work, remember?
Yeah. Vaguely.
You do everything and she gets credit for it.
I kind of write that shit out because that's standard protagonist shit in RPGs.
It wasn't. The thing is, you were given credit in Heavensward. So it being a step back from that was kind of galling, you know?
I guess so.
Is my take.
It didn't. Yeah.
Let's move on to Papalimo. Papalimo is a pretty.
I really liked Papalimo. I'll be honest.
I liked him a lot. I think he was a great straight man and a great counterpart to Ida. I think we have to have him with Ida together as A tier. That's my vote.
I don't know. He's kind of with Minfilia in that he doesn't really get much chance to become a real character.
He shines in 3.x.
I recall that, yeah, and then he disappears.
And then we lose him. But like the way his story goes, I think he is a good boy. I think he deserves at least high B, if not low A.
High B sounds right, personally.
I like him more
only for the highs of his character.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the Scions, because they all get better time. Yeah.
They all get better written over time, but they're kind of tainted by who they are at the very beginning of the game.
Exactly. And it's like such a fucking the only reason Alphino and Alisei are like up there is because you've spent so goddamn much time with them that your memories have been completely replaced. I forget this guy's name, Pippin.
Yeah, Pippin to Ripon. Good memory.
I like him. He's like
he's one of my three. He's one of the. What's weird is that there are a lot of really well-written Lalafell NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ever meet someone who's playing Lalafell and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I put him at least in B, if not A. Because you don't
see
him a lot.
Boy. Yeah, you don't see him a lot, but every interaction's like, yeah.
Is that good? Or would you rather me adjust him?
That feels reasonable to me.
Okay.
Next is Ranjit, who is... Ranjit to me reeks of disappointment, if I'm being completely honest.
He should have had his own boss fight rather than
Ranjit is
a boss.
I have a lot to say about this one, but I'm gonna let you guys say it first.
Ranjit is a character who's he's the right-hand man of one of the other people on this list, and he's constantly hinted at as having a great deal more going on beneath the surface. He's sort of like the nemesis of Resident Evil to you for a while. He hunts you through the expansion, stalking you with mercilessly, but
pulling righteous bullshit to get to you.
But it's never explained why he has the ability to go with bullshit. It's never really addressed. It just happens, and then there's a couple details hinted at when he dies. And really, at the end of the day, he feels like everything in his character got left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
he's nothing, but there's so much more that could have been there, and it kind of sucks.
I don't want to put him in D because he does have like I do respect a good villain that that just fucking keeps coming.
I would put him in low C personally, but Scylla, you got some thoughts now.
Yeah.
Oh boy, hit me.
Okay, so particularly this character, as Kiki says, feels like they have been very like put on the cutting room floor. It feels like they had a lot more planned with this character. Everything from how he fights to how he acts to even his design feels like there was a. Hang on, let me like
Sorry, I'm trying to emphasize you. Go on.
There is a lot that feels like they were trying to emphasize with this character, especially when it came to Ren in this character, who is like he's pretty much the caretaker dad of Ren. Gets explained later, but
yeah, there
is one particular line of dialogue that sticks out to me when you fight him in a very unclimactic scene, sadly. And when you defeat him, and I think he actually dies, he says, there you are, my daughters. He emphasizes a few interesting points when he says, there you are, my daughters. As if implying, one, he's dying, but two, as if the souls of all these other girls, he's seeing them. But also for the fact that this is something that has been happening, like, with the MSQ people who's played Shadowbringers who know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna like not mention it directly to avoid spoilers, but there's an indication that like his legacy and what he's been doing has been going on a lot longer than we realize.
Yeah, there's a lot of. All right, so how I would explain Ranjit is he's a character with Dark Souls lore in a game with a JRPG's lore.
He's kind of like Darth Maul. Except they don't get all the extra shit after he fucking dies.
What I mean is, like, there's a lot hinted at, but this is not a game that hints at story.
Now, I'll go on.
Yeah. No, like in Dark Souls, it's like, I learned about these characters through item descriptions and through little details in people's dialogue, and that's kind of what he is. But this isn't a game that does that. This is a game that's very character-focused, and it kind of sucks that he gets
There's also, I think, one A-rank hunt that only emphasizes explain that.
I can tell you about that. Okay,
so
Ranjit has a pet dragon that's actually part of his attire that sort of wakes up every now and then when you fight him. And
I approve of any dragon scarf.
Yes,
especially one that's still alive and hanging out.
Mm-hmm. And you can learn through talking to an NPC that tells you about these hunts, which are basically these rare monster spawns fundamentally. And this hunt is apparently there's this dragon creature that they're very rare. They're bound to their masters, and they kind of like bond with them and bond with their souls and kind of change them, if I remember correctly. And this is one that's outlived its summoner, and it's got the exact same design as Ranjit's pet dragon. So it's like, here's this one little bit of lore. This is the only way that you can learn literally anything about this guy, is this one NPC talking about something unrelated. I would put him in low C because I want to know more about him, but I'll never get that.
Yeah, I want to put him in somewhere in the C category to learn more about him.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
It's why it's such a tragedy, because there feels like there is so much more about this character that we never got.
Like I honestly thought that he was from a different game. Like that was the impression I got, was because there's so much.
Fantasy 14, they're all from different games.
No, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like it felt like he was.
I get what you're saying.
Like, for me, this game shines when it feels like everything's new. Like nothing was just borrowed from a previous game. Like I didn't know the Crystal Tower was from a previous Final Fantasy game. I never would have guessed. I didn't know that the Omega weapon was, or that the Crystal or Emerald weapons were. They fit. But it felt, but there are times when things don't fit, like Omega or the Rabanastre raids. This guy felt like he was from a different game that I would need to play to learn about him, but that wasn't how it went, was it?
Yeah, no. If anybody actually knows any lore on this, like, individual, I would be really interested to learn more.
God, same.
Next one is Raban.
Raban is an interesting one. He's an interesting character. He's definitely flawed, but he's all right. He's a good counterpart to the Empress, and I think I can live with him being an A.
Also, I'm a sucker for any one-armed swordsman type.
I wouldn't put him in A personally, but I don't mind him being there. You know what I mean?
I'm thinking mid A, because he gets a lot of interesting stuff. He definitely shows some pretty heavy personality.
Yeah.
I appreciate how he straight up kills that one fucker.
Yeah, he does.
Like, I have no idea how to dance around that. Just straight up gets him.
Yeah, cuts him in half. Yeah.
Yep. In this game that has no like fucking precedence for that, so they have to use creative camera angles.
Yes. So that goes there, which then we move on to Rowena.
Rowena,
No idea who she is.
really forgettable. I'd put her. I put her near Geralt, honestly.
Really?
Just because I like her more than Geralt. I put her in high C, but like I put her in high C tier, honestly. But
yeah, Rowena Sundries. She's the one that's responsible for a lot of like the trade turn-ins and the some of the armor designs as well that has her like stuff on it. She's also seen wearing like the newest like fashion attire.
yes,
like,
she's basically a hyper capitalist, which is probably why I don't like her. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god.
yes. Sorry, every time Kiki wants to go on their like crazy little like dislike of
crazy?
capitalism. As a
Yes.
capitalist, I don't mind her.
But as a person, you do mind me. But
No,
yeah,
I was
next-
talking about Rowena.
So,
Next, we're talking about Rin.
Oh yeah, next we're talking about. I like Rin a lot. Rin is
she's alright.
she's kind of the heart of she's the heart of Shadowbringers. She's innocent, but she develops, and she's also an adorable little lesbian, which I'm very here for.
Yeah, we got to remove the bias though. So, what's your take, Willis?
No, I think she's high B.
Well,
I like her.
I think that sounds about right. She's like a character living in the shadow. How to put this? He's one of those classic types of characters that more or less lives in the shadows of others and is getting protected, and then gets sick of it and elects to learn how to kick ass. And I appreciate that.
I like her. I think she's good. It's also just a murder engine.
Yeah. Also, the lore for her thing is kind of metal as hell.
It is agreed wholeheartedly. It's goddamn cool.
Okay, so now we go to Dotharl Damimami.
Oh my god. She's pretty cool, and I like the whole fucking lore concept of her tribe.
I'm gonna avoid voting on
like
this one
Sadu.
again.
Where are you gonna put it? Where? Are you're just putting Sadu into A tier? Yeah, that's valid to me.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Well, no,
fucking
she's not better
appreciate
than the Admiral though, Meryl Webb.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think she's also not better than Gaius.
She's also not better than Estinian. She's not really. Yeah, this is a tough one. I have to put her like,
honestly. I would put Lena behind.
She's a low middling A.
Yeah, I would also put Lena behind Ardbert.
Put her right in front of. Put her right behind Rauben.
Yeah, that feels
seems
reasonable.
about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that feels good to me.
She doesn't have a lot of like development, but when she shows up,
It's just like, oh yeah, this scene's gonna be great because she's here.
oh, absolutely.
And then
The
next
wolf.
we have Gaius 2.0. I would put him in S tier. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All
I
right.
wish we got more scenes with him.
Have you played through the Sorrows of Werlet?
I don't think so now.
Okay, so so every expansion there's a sort of side arc that it takes you through a couple different trials, which are these 8-man fights, and they've all got some very specific story to them. And he and his adopted kids are pivotal, or are the core characters of the most recent one, and the emotional impact is tremendous. The tie between this old adoptive dad and these kids who are trying to do their best in a really awful world is incredible. It's really, really good, and I would put him in S tier, honestly, just because of his relationship with the other characters in that arc. It's really good to see, and it's honestly pretty powerful. That's my opinion, anyway.
It is right to put him with Estinian, though. Just letting Team Edgy get shit done off screen.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Okay.
sort of like. Okay, Turtle Boy Turtle Boy.
Turtle Boy, I don't even remember his name.
My lizard bias He's a nothing character. He's such a fucking nothing
he
character.
shows up, he rescues you when you've got some very made up problems, and then he's just not in the story anymore. I think low C is fine.
Yeah, he's just like, why? I'm sorry, but real talk. Why is he on this list?
I don't know.
I guess it's because he has some time in the MSQ, but like he's very much a nothing character.
Yeah.
He's the Stormblood equivalent of someone you meet for a little bit in ARR who puts you through the ringer for a few quests. Except he's like not spiteful about it.
You know what he is?
He doesn't dick around with you about it.
He's one of the people you had to go meet up to get like a bit of food for that one feast you have to do before fighting Titan.
He's not that bad.
No, but he's like one of the guys that you had to go to. Like he's not the one. He's not the one organizing it, but you had to go like get wine from him or something.
That sounds right. He's basically in that vibe. The only saving grace for this entire character is that he's not fucking like being a dick about it.
Yeah, he's very friendly and wholesome. That's like his
like,
one
hey, let's swim across the sea. What? Yeah. Oh, you can't breathe air? Well, you can't breathe water? That fucking sucks.
Let's
go
fix that.
Fucking get out of my sight until you learn how, and then some other character just makes an offhanded remark, and then you spend 10 goddamn quests learning how to breathe underwater through sheer force of will, and then you show up again and he's like, well, that's neat. Huh. Well, I guess you're now on par with me, so let's get this done.
Honestly, it'd be great if it only took 10 quests to learn how to breathe underwater. I'd love
the
to do
entire
that.
fucking Ruby Sea arc is just like a fucking malaise in my brain.
It's not good.
So
next is Tataru.
A lot of people are going to be on their edge of the seats with this one.
I think Tataru is fine. I like Tataru.
Fine is a good word for her. Sassy bookkeeper.
She comes into her own post ARR. Really, I loved the
like everyone else.
There's an arc where she kind of tries to figure out what her purpose is, where she tries to become like an arcanist and tries to like get into a bunch of different things, and it's adorable.
She also learns to juggle at one point, and you can just find her in the fucking place juggling, and it's great.
I put her in like, looking at who we have in B, I'd put her in low A.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, very low.
So
A.
that or lower.
Probably in the Pippin region.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quite low A. Yeah.
Oh. All right.
She's all right, but she doesn't have She has a bit going for her, like being the bookkeeper surrounded by legends, which is respectable.
Who is that? Who is next?
That's from the Omega raid.
Oh, I'm going to. I'm in the middle.
Wait, have you done the Omega raid?
I've done the Omega raid. Is that just Omega F?
Yeah, that's Omega F.
I am working through Omega. You're just gonna have to place them there, and we will never know why.
Honestly,
Let's make this Omega as a whole.
If we're taking Omega as a whole, I'd put Omega in like low C, high D. But if we're talking about the very end of Omega, where M and F show up,
I'm sorry, this is so fucking spoilery in the Omega region. I'm just like, all I know is like Alpha Bird, and the fact that there's a giant robot that is doing convoluted things to justify fighting vintage bosses.
Let's just say C and move on, because the justifying fighting vintage bosses thing really rubs me the wrong way. I will say this, at the very end, things get interesting.
Okay. How about Thancred?
Thancred's okay. I know you love him, though.
He's in the upper all rights. I really didn't like his like weird. I didn't like his weird thing from Infilia, and I double didn't like the way it reared its head in Shadowbringers.
Yeah, he made me super uncomfortable, and honest. Okay, the following is going to be a spoiler. It'll take me about 5 seconds to say it, but I'm going to say it, then we're going to move on. I still think he should have died at the end of the fight with Ranjit. I thought it served as an interesting conclusion to his character arc. I get why he didn't, but I thought it was going to happen, and it felt weird that it didn't.
I'm hoping he gets more mileage in the next expansion.
He also gets caught up for being creepy by Ishtola.
Sounds right.
Another reason why Ishtola should be S tier.
Because she's sassy as fuck during Shadowbringers?
All right.
Unless someone feels incredibly strongly about Nero, I have some things I would like to open with.
Go ahead and open with them.
Please do.
Nero has all the vibes of that DM NPC that the DM fucking loves and inserts into everything, but no one else likes.
So we're looking low. what we're seeing.
Actually, I actually adore Nero and his divorced dad energy.
Okay, that's pushing us up to at least a B.
I think like Nero to me feels like he had kids, he got divorced, and he has no idea what the fuck to do with his life, and he still is really upset at that one guy who got promoted in his 20s over him.
Okay, so upper B.
I think he's
Put him beside Sid, just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah, for the shits and giggles. No, put him right behind Sid.
I was gonna say in front of Sid because Sid doesn't like being.
I love
Put
Nero.
him on top of Sid.
Yeah, see.
Okay, which is what he would love. He's definitely very gay for Sid.
Oh
But
my god.
Nero to me has a lot more character than the vast majority of the people on the list below him.
Yeah.
And
He has character at all, I guess.
Yeah, he has character, and there's also that one scene where he's purple and he's like, "Fuck you, I don't need your help," and you're like, "You dumb piece of idiot soup, take my help, you fucking moron." He's like, "God damn it, fine." And it's just, I like him a lot. He's endeared himself to me, but I get why you wouldn't.
So now that leads us to what dost thou thinketh of thy next?
I like the turbo nerd.
I
want to shove him into a locker, but I also like him.
There's something that I need to share with the both of you for after stream. Part of me wants to just link it into chat.
No. We're not doing this right now because of copyright reasons on YouTube.
Okay, okay. That's fair. That's very fair.
And we're not gonna get distracted. We're in the middle of a tier list.
Okay.
We can't
It's worth it.
Stutter.
It involves his actual voice actor. Is the thing.
Save it for after.
I'll save it for after. I'd put him in A tier. I think he's interesting. He's a cunning and conniving little shit that has a bunch of weird plans that play out in different ways.
Oh yeah.
So upper A, you're thinking?
I'm thinking lower
A.
I think I'm with
Tataru.
I put him with Tataru.
Characters that just can't take the time out of their day to explain what the fuck they're doing really piss me off.
Yeah,
especially when they're putting you in mortal goddamn peril.
Yeah,
and then they're just. Yeah. The only thing that saves me from hating him on a fucking spiritual level is the fact that he doesn't get mad at you for not falling into his plan.
Yeah,
the plan that he doesn't tell you about.
He A doesn't get mad at you, and then B, there's the time where he's trying to walk on water, and then he just kind of fucks up a bit.
Yeah. Shout outs to Alpha No for the hell swimming thing.
Yes.
Just all the swimming things of Alpha No.
Yeah. God. I've heard people say that I've seen conjecture that Alpha No's a trans boy, and I kind of buy it, honestly. Because identical twins have can't be,
I think he would be taken aback and weirded out by the suggestion, but he would also humor the thought later and just be like, maybe it is a possibility.
No. I mean, was born female, transitioned to guy.
Oh, okay.
Because, really hates the idea of being naked around other people.
Oh my God.
Very there's a bunch of little things that I don't know. I can recognize some transness in the character, and it kind of makes me like him a little bit more. But yes, next is the Emperor.
What's his name again?
I don't even know his fucking name. He's very one note.
Okay, so let's start raising his score up.
I'd put him in C. I'd put him in
C. Yeah.
His whole deal is that he's trying to make all the worlds come together, and he's just like a big old warlord or whatever.
Stupidest hat award. He shoots Emmett, which is fun, but that's one moment.
He literally shoots Emmett Selk, who gets irritated about it later because he's like, "You killed that body. I liked it."
He does verbally dunk on all the leaders.
He does, which was a very good scene.
But everything else is A.
Yeah. Next is Vothri, and Vothri, I have two separate feelings about Vothri, and I can't reconcile them in my head.
I like his second form.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're obviously very, very turned on by his second form. Fucking really attractive Blade Angel, which is an extremely good aesthetic. But okay, so here's the thing about Vothri. He's this gluttonous,
he's a metaphor for America.
He's God, he is.
Oh, hang on.
So his whole deal is he's really fond of the horrible way the world is, and he's trying to keep it going that way. He's very important in the plot. He's an awful person. He's a fascinating character. I like him. I think he's really good, but also his existence or his whole deal kind of undercuts one of my favorite parts of what I thought the story was going to be like, I'd put him in mid-A. That feels okay to me.
Yeah, that sounds right. He's a fun character in concept, basically.
And in
It's a
execution.
goddamn spoon, and it's like one of the most distressing things in game.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And next is Teleji and Aleji.
Hmm.
I'd put him in C tier because he's a forgettable antagonist who tries to exploit the poor.
Yeah, he gets cut in half, isn't he?
He does. This is the one that gets one that gets fucking annihilated by Raoban.
And I want to put him a little higher, but only because he gets fucking annihilated, and the story just goes with it instead of trying to instead of him holding up a hand and producing some bullshit shield of just like the players have to fight me.
He overplays his hand and gets destroyed for it, and it's one of the most memorable moments from ARR, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like that entire final thing is just like you could have been compelling the whole goddamn time.
What the fuck do you mean this game's got good writing? God damn it!
What? Yeah, basically, I felt cheated the fact that it got good at all.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. It's like, what do you mean 2.x has good writing? What the fuck? But yeah, next is Wedge.
Who
Wedge
I'm gonna have to put with Biggs.
I would put him a little bit above
story.
Biggs because he actually has personality. He also,
I guess.
there's a moment in Shadowbringers
Oh,
that touched me.
Touched me
Oh
hard.
yeah.
Yeah, there's and also
It's a shame that it's a shame they're not canon in the real world.
Yeah. So that version of him gets put up into high B, but this one's fine where he is. Oh my god, it's like they're holding hands. Look at them.
Wow.
I love how it's Nero, Sid, Wedge, Biggs. I feel like
This group
is
is just up.
Yeah.
It's just mid B.
I feel like Nero would be very upset that he's not an A tier.
He'd be upset he's not S tier. He'd be trying to put
absolutely.
himself
Yeah.
up with like these,
Yeah, he'd be like, what the fuck do you mean Emmett Selk is up there? All he did was start the Empire. All right, next is Isael, who I adored, actually. I loved Isael.
I respect any dragon fucker, but
Yeah, she did fuck dragons. I'm gonna have to like put her back up here.
She didn't.
No,
She wanted
she was
to.
She was the incarnate of Shiva who fucked dragons.
yeah.
So I mean, technically,
No. There's
it
a very
counts.
important thing. She is not the incarnate. She believed herself to be that so strongly
That she became it.
Yeah, she
not
wanted
necessarily became. She became the image of it, and even Race Velger calls her out on just being the image of what she thinks it should be.
If Race Velger had put out, she would have fucked him, though.
Yeah, let's
Absolutely.
be honest. She absolutely would have fucked the dragon.
She also has some cool
Why is
moments.
Race Velger and Nidhogg not on this list, though?
That's a good question, actually.
I would put
This list is very, very humanoid centric.
yeah, I would put Nidhogg in high A, honestly.
Just like make a little just like a little dragon pic. Just two little dragon squiggles. One looks all spiky and the other's all fuzzy.
The other one's really petable, yeah.
Yeah.
And then next is Xenos. Scylla, do you want to explain your feelings about Lord Xenos?
Best character of all times. There we go. No, I'm starting to feel the ground tremble again. I'm sorry.
You can feel the fire burning. Wait, no. Here's the thing. Now that you pulled him out of S tier, the ground is trembling again because of the Fujoshi who love him.
Hold on, I have a very important fucking picture.
Oh God.
Okay,
What's his name?
so
Okay,
Xenos.
yeah.
I want to actually talk about this person real quick.
Yeah, we are going to because
The representation of what he embodies in terms of the player being the player fits really well. If you know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
Where
I do.
his desire for power, his desire for a good fight, his desire for even just collecting things strikes me pretty heavy as indicating a player.
He is a mirror. He is the warrior of light without the veneer of protagonist.
And that's what the vibes I kind of get.
We just dropped this shit in chat so it could be immortalized.
Oh my god.
Okay, so here are my thoughts on him. On
Oh,
Xenos.
that, yeah. Oh,
Here are my thoughts on Xenos. I love the idea of an antagonist whose motivating desires are emptiness and ennui. That strikes me. That sticks with me. I like that a lot, and I like that he's a mirror of the player character, being a collector, an entirely soulless person who just wants an interesting fight, who just wants things to be fun for him. But at the same time, he definitely overstays his welcome.
Yeah, he's.
However, there is a dynamic between him and Pokefan Daniel that is just goddamn fun to watch.
Oh God.
So I'm thinking right here in the middle, just straight up in the middle of everything.
The enthusiastic about destroying the world and completely fucking bored about it.
Yeah, the dynamic between I'm gonna destroy the world, ha 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 ha, and I guess I'll destroy the world because maybe it'll make a player character Chan come over and fight.
Yeah. Kind of by nature, he's a nothing character beyond that. But at least it's like, at least there's a promise of a solid Ditto fight or something, because I'm a sucker for those.
Yeah. I think B is good. And we're done. We did it. We ranked all the characters. We put.
Hang on. We got
Dragon Squiggles.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, the Dragon Squiggles.
Yeah, hang on a moment. We'll take care of this.
Just make him look like No Step on Snack. And one with really angry, with sad eyebrows, and one with angry eyebrows.
Oh my God. So let's talk about them. Nidhogg.
Okay, yeah, we gotta find where they're gonna go first.
Phyllis, where would you put Nidhogg?
Nidhogg, okay, well, first let's explain this dragon that has been driven mad with rage and grief for fucking millennia.
Yeah.
Was a great betrayal of humans against dragons.
Yes.
Well, Ishgardians, technically.
Yeah. The mortals betrayed the dragons in a really visceral and really horrible way, and he's been full of hate and grief and fury for about 1,000 years now. Just he wants everything to be ruined in this city because they destroyed everything that he cared about.
He has a chip on all of his shoulders.
Yeah, his shoulders and his hips.
I guess that's all he's got. I don't know where wings fit on the whole shoulder situation.
It's still shoulders.
So what are you thinking? Where would you guys put him?
I would put Nidhogg. Okay, so as
Nidhogg is definitely lower than
I think Nidhogg. I would put Nidhogg in mid B tier. And
yeah, that sounds right.
Because you don't really. He's a force more than a character.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh my God! I'm so excited to see this. This is the highlight of the stream.
Just angry like colon V face.
Oh my God! Fangies! Fangies!
My boy.
Fangies!
Grr.
Grr.
There. That's Nidhogg.
Neck.
Oh my God, I got that reference.
Yeah. Neck.
Okay, and the other one I assume would be A tier.
I would put Hraesvelgr in A tier because he's a good fluffy boy who.
He's very sad and also into war, but
yeah. He's sad and he's into war, but also he's a very soft and fluffy dragon boy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like how to explain this character. During the great fucking betrayal of humans against dragons, he got sad.
He got really sad, and then this lady came
along
who was
he lost his mortal love of his life in the process, or rather, not in the process. She just grew old, and he fucking ate her because like blah blah blah, be together forever.
Yeah,
you know how war files be.
Yeah, you know how those. Yeah,
you know how those people be.
Yeah, you've met him. We all know him. Looks at Scylla.
What?
Yeah, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Also, just dog-nosed dragon is a neat design.
It is. It's really cute.
Squiggly boy. I am still firmly in the camp of either wyvern or regular dragon designs. Because why reinvent the wheel again?
Yeah,
it's still a neat design. Also, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I really don't like the weird cancerous squiggle masses of swirls along Nidhogg. Give me bad vibes.
Why did you draw a line through Ranji?
It was accidental.
They deserve it.
Yeah, they kind of do. Oh.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Well, whatever. They're there in spirit.
Yeah. The VOD will show. Thank you for hopping in, by the way, and helping us argue about characters, Perlis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our complete list.
I saw you all talking about Hien, and I just like,
And you were just like, my people
Yeah.
need me.
yeah, God, I fucking, It's just, it's hard to like get the words out of how much I kind of despise him. It's like a cold despise, just like you see him walking up to you at your lunch table, and he's prepared to sit beside you because he thinks he's your friend, and you're just like, I just remembered I have something. I have somewhere I need to be.
I don't like that I have to work with you, my guy. But at the same time, you're very nice-ish.
You're just like, yeah, you're very, very aggressively nice in like this weird unnatural way. In this like scientifically calculated, some writers in the room just shrugged at each other and said, well, we can't make him unlikable.
He has mathematically engineered himbo precision.
Basically. I don't even want to call him a himbo because he's kind of clever. He's like just cunning enough that I don't call him that. I don't consider him
that's a
that.
good point. He's not a wholesome himbo. He's just
like aggressively nice player character. I don't know how to describe him.
Yeah. I get that. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the list though.
It's like someone that always chooses like the nice dialogue option in anything, even against people who really don't deserve it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's just like, he's a slab of butter.
But I want my Paragon points, Perlis.
Listen, I don't know how Shepard makes it work, but Hien does not.
The dance. It's the dance is how Shepard makes it work.
Yes. Shepard is just airheaded down, just barely airheaded enough. Hien, meanwhile, okay, I think I get why he feels like bad nice now. It's because he very pointedly uses that niceness to get what he wants.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. That's a good. Thank you for remembering that. That is exactly my feeling about him.
Also, yeah.
Now that I've helped you, fight and die for me.
Yeah. I'm going to abuse local customs to make these tribes of warriors unite beneath me.
Yeah.
We don't really have a stake in this war. The story has gone out of our way to say that they do not have a stake because they live in basically useless land that even the fucking world-conquering empire does not care for.
Yeah. It's not a great feeling, is it?
Yeah. They probably could have amended it if they just like, you know, the Empire's going to go for you eventually, right? You should probably join in.
I think if he'd used the victory to negotiate, like now that I've won, I can talk with you guys as equals. Like that would have been enough for me.
Yeah.
Rawr.
Yeah, I think that's a good like wrapping point too. I think.
Yeah, it's just shitting on Hien again.
Yeah. What's the fucking name of also milquetoast, pink-haired girl from the nice tribe in the steppe?
Serena?
The very pointedly nice tribe.
Yeah, Serena. Serena. I wanted to put her really far down in C tier, but still likes her.
Yeah.
I don't. I did not.
She at least seems to be actually sweet and nice. I just don't think her character has.
She took me out
we never. Hold on, I just realized we never actually got a good place for Shiva. We just kind of stuck her up there, and.
I think I agree with where you stuck her for the most part.
We respect the aspirations of Dragonfucker. She has some cool shit going for her, such as turning into a goddamn primal on command.
And she also I didn't really like how she died, but spoilers by the way.
Yeah.
Wow. It's Heaven's Sword. It's fine.
Which anyone can edit. But yeah, so
Wikipedia, the free online encyclopedia that anyone can edit.
Where did you put the other Stormblood tyrant on this list? The one who gets the echo. Is she even on here?
Oh, Fordola? We put her up in A tier.
Okay.
I like Fordola a lot. She's my favorite character out of Stormblood.
Okay.
She's the only character in it that I felt was well-rounded and interesting and compelling. She makes a lot of hard choices. She's put in a lot of really bad situations, but she does the best for her people that she thinks. Like, I think she's interesting, and I think she works. You know?
Yeah. much more deserving of the whatchamacallit redemption arc.
Yeah, agreed. Because she's a good person, just in a bad place that has to do bad things.
Hmm.
She does. Yeah, she's a good character. I think she's the best written character in Stormblood.
Would be fair to Bar's kind of low there, but
Agreed, but still, like let her have this. Come on.
I will. I will let her have this because she deserves a little bit of it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I was also so fucking jaded going through the majority of it.
I was too.
The second we hit Ruby C, I just entered full, just fucking melt into my chair, hold middle mouse, and auto run to quest.
I was in a very Stormblood actually killed my ability to play this game, and I had to be dragged back into it before Shadowbringers.
Kiki was very distraught that they removed cleric stance.
I actually was. I actually really hated. Well, that was part of the changes that I hated, actually.
I don't condone Kiki's opinions for anybody listening.
It's okay, you don't condone any of our opinions, but we state them anyway.
Yeah. Like, I liked. Okay, so I enjoyed the options available to healers for hurting things, is what I will say. But yeah. Shall we sit on this screen and talk about Final Fantasy some more, or do we have other things ahead of us?
I'm trying to think of what else there is to say, except just like fucking dunking on what's her face from the Nice Tribe again. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like they're a nice tribe who exist somehow in this war-torn steppe.
We super don't fight with people, and we're very friendly and cheerful and pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And we need you to save us, and if you save us, you can force everyone else to fight your war for you. We're very convenient plot-wise.
Yeah. God.
We're so fucking milquetoast that you have to do all. We very pointedly need you to do all the fighting for us.
Exactly. Yeah, I hated that, honestly.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, we've been at this for almost 5 hours now. I am.
God dang.
Yeah. It's impressive, isn't it?
We're amazing.
Yeah, this is kind of amazing, isn't it?
We're really cool.
Yeah, we're rad.
Only other people can say that
Five
about us,
rad
though.
points.
Listen, if you don't have a little bit of confidence, you'll never get anywhere.
You can have confidence. You just can't like be a narc.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
What do
Are
you
you a
mean?
cop? Policing our use of the word narc?
God. So, okay. Okay, yeah, we completed our tier list. Time to do another one.
I'm sorry, but the winner of the stupidest hat award is Emperor What's-His-Face.
Yeah, oh yeah, we agree wholeheartedly that he wins the stupidest hat.
Yeah, no contest, we can leave now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Okay. So I guess it's to ask, are we doing more stuff or are we planning to wrap up?
Or at least
yeah,
I'm gonna
Promise
depart.
is very sleepy. What else would we do
There
if we were to
is
go on?
continuing Dark Souls, there is chatting. It's just like, it really depends, you know?
We could play a little bit of Dark Souls. It is not even 1 a.m.
Yeah, it's not even 1 a.m.
Before this tier list goes away, I'm trying to think of whatever like takes I have.
Yeah, see if you got any good takes. Process it.
The first White Asian was kind of a chump. Like, and that's just mostly because he was in ARR times, and he may have been good if it wasn't ARR times, and they had anyone who actually gave a shit.
The White Asian guy, Elidibus, is
I mean, not the first. Not Elidibus Turbo Final Boss Elidibus. I'm talking like, was it Elidibus?
I don't know.
No, you pointedly, when you're rescuing Nymphilia, you pointedly kill another White Asian.
Oh, right. There is that one guy.
Yeah, that incredibly forgettable dude who exists only to kill my fucking favorite ARR gal.
Yep. I don't even remember that character's name.
I don't either. He was such a non-character. He was just like, oh, my dick is I goad people into attacking me, and then I beat the shit out of them.
God.
And then I spend the rest of eternity fucking murdering the shit out of them or whatever because self-defense.
For our amigo!
Fucking,
God.
fucking that guy.
Yeah, the white
Fucking-
griffin
yeah.
of Alamigo.
Floppy.
It's really weird that Ilbert isn't on this list at all.
Yeah. Fucking Elbird.
Killbird Volume 2.
Okay.
But yeah, we
so
could go
He's
into
got a good voice actor. I'll give him.
Oh,
that.
absolutely. But also, he's a big dumb idiot failure who fucked everything up and died like an idiot.
God.
Chump.
I've met some people who are Ilbert stans and they're dumb because Ilbert's a fucking moron.
You know, this
It's
is why
okay.
the Warframe video did so poorly.
Oh, because Ilbert's an empirically dumbass piece of like.
Your
Dipshit.
opinions are terrible.
Do you stand the dumbass?
No, not really. I'm just
Exactly,
saying in
he's a
general,
fuck-
though.
He's a fucking dumbass who deserved to die like an idiot. Didn't even summon the right primal, moron.
God.
This false flag operation failed just because everyone wanted to stop the goddamn primal that everything worked.
Yeah. I suppose things would be a lot different if they actually did summon a Ragar.
A lot of people died in pain and fear for him. He's a fucking useless idiot.
Oh, yeah. Fun. I noticed our Cyclops has gotten super quiet through all this, and I'm pretty sure
Oh,
they're
yeah.
bored out of their mind.
I can
Bored
absolutely
to sleep.
Yeah, we bored them.
Is the one cat dude that builds the giant golem on this list, or is just his wife there?
It's
Just
just his
his
wife,
wife.
but we talked about it as if it was both of them.
True, because they are basically inseparable.
They are inseparable. Like we talked about that one minion where his wife's just carrying him under her arm. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
It's very good.
Hmm.
But yeah, why don't we move on to
Yeah.
something else?
I think we should definitely,
And with that,
like Dank
with that,
Souls.
I admire my children at the top of the list, and nod in approval.
Oh.
Blizzard tested. Gremlin approved.
I will let you go
Yeah.
then, Frillis.
Yeah,
Have a
take
good
care and
night.
have a good night. Do the good sleep.
Yeah, I
take
shall
care.
try.
What if your sleep was? What if you slept but like good?
I will make the attempt. You get some good sleep. I don't
will
know. But, yeah.
I will do my best.
Do your darndest, please.
I
Have a
will.
good-
I will darn my dudest.
Yeah.
You know what they say. And then there were two.
Yeah, now it's just us again.
Been going for
Having
4 hours
completed
and
this
45
very
minutes.
controversial list,
Extraordinarily.
except for the
Extraordinarily.
main S rank up there, that one is.
I think if anyone argues with that, they can get decked.
Wow.
Decked, like like knocked over.
Wow. Oh, okay. So we have finished up our tier list. We should move on to it.
We have.
So we should